Everybody now is a prophet. The biggest stock market crash in history is still coming. And I said, I'm going to change the title to, it's here. This is the biggest crash we'll ever see in our lifetimes. It's called the everything bubble. Everything's going to come down. And that's how you can prepare for it. So for most people, that's bad news. But as I was saying last night, crashes, everything goes on sale. Stock markets, when they crash, go down in 3 phases. Boom, boom, boom. Phase 1 was bounce. It was called a bear market rally. This baby is going down, I hope, because I'm going to get richer. See, the thing right now is if you're afraid, it's because you got bad advice in your head. You're operating on bad information from your mommy, your daddy, your college professor, your school teachers, whatever it is. I get stimulated thinking about a crash. Europe's in trouble. They don't think the EU is going to make it. China's in trouble. Japan's in serious trouble. The world's in trouble. It's in trouble because of lack of leadership. And as President John Kennedy said, leadership and learning go hand in hand, basically. I'm here to serve those who serve. We need more leaders, ladies and gentlemen. But this country sorely lacks leaders. I'm not Republican or Democrat, but I just can't believe what's going on in our government. I mean, how can they open the borders? How can they cut off the Keystone XL pipeline? How can this guy blame Russia, President blame Ukraine and Russia for our problem? We have food shortages. Sri Lanka, which is the richest island nations in the world, is in rioting right now. So we need leaders. When they infect your brain, you're screwed. The love of money is the root of all evil. Give me a break. Give me a break. Why don't they teach us about money instead? What about the ignorance of money? What's that costing us? What happens when you have a criminal like this guy Biden in charge of the U.S. government? How can the guy open the southern border, let 4.9 million people stream across with fentanyl and drugs and sex and all this stuff? And we wonder why our homelessness goes up. Well, maybe it's because our drug problem is going up, you idiots. And how come San Francisco, the most beautiful city on earth at one time, has now you got to watch where you step because there's human feces all over the place. And that's what happens when you're a liberal Marxist commie pinko. It makes me sick. And people, let's defund the police. I said, do you want to defund the police? Knock yourself out. We print money to solve our problems. And all that does is increase debt and creates more freeloaders, social welfare. I'm not against social welfare, but don't print money to pay for it. At the same time, our debt escalates. Our debt to GDP right now is 120%. At 90% debt to GDP, we're bankrupt. That means for every dollar we spend, we go deeper in debt right now. So our debt is now in the trillions. I don't know how many trillions. I've heard it's 260 trillion. I don't know how they measure it anymore. At the same time, they raise interest rates into a recession. This has never been done before. So that's why I'm saying there's somebody intentionally doing something to bring America down and the world down. I like gold and silver. I don't trust my government that much. And I don't save money. I save gold and silver because it's liquid. In other words, if I need cash, I just come out of silver or gold fast, and I'm into cash. And I was talking to Rick about why do people hang on to cash when I think, was it you that said they're guaranteed, their inflation is at 7% and they're paying you 3% or something? Why would you hang on to it? When Biden took the Keystone XL pipeline off, my oil I was selling from the ground, which is a tax break also, went from $30 a barrel to $130 a barrel. Today it's like $20. Oh my God, this guy Biden has been bankrupt. I'm not saying him, but there's somebody who wants to bankrupt because oil is the lifeblood of civilization. I worked for Standard Oil of California as a tanker officer when I graduated from school. I understand oil. I was on the Alaska pipeline and all this. I'm like, he's screwing. So when he raises inflation, the poor and middle class will go broke. And that was just done as soon as he was being done before he took office. And so I'm looking at this. This guy's going to sell America down the drain. I'm not saying it's him, but somebody wants us to go broke. Well, talk about a media savvy guy, huh? Trump. Is that boy media savvy? He tells the world they're going to arrest me. If they arrest him, he's president. I'd vote for him. The trouble with Trump, he and I have the same problem. Open mouth, insert foot. People say, don't fight the Fed and all this. Well, my question to everybody is this. Can the Fed print oil? Can the Fed print gasoline? Can it print food? But everybody sits there and they've been brainwashed by Wall Street to go, do as the Fed tells you to do. Well, you gotta be kidding me. Those guys are the three stooges, Janet Yellen, Biden, and Powell. You gotta be kidding me. Why would you listen to them? Volcker saying it's gonna crush, so he raised interest rates, right? So Powell is now channeling the spirit of Volcker. And when Volcker crushed inflation, debt to GDP was 30%. And today it's 125% if you the numbers. So if he channels Volcker, and the other thing about history will tell you this, there's never been a soft landing. It's more Fed talk. Crashes make the rich richer. So the bull goes up the stairs, the bear goes out the window. So if you want to get rich quick, I like the crashes. Oh, shit, it comes down so fast. But I love crashes. I get really excited about a crash. Unfortunately, most people get wiped out. I've made more money in the last 3 years in my whole life. And so that's what I want to talk about with you today, is that there's other ways of looking at investing, but to think that Powell is going to save you, when as you may know, the reverse repo market is running at $2 trillion a day today.
Right.
$2 trillion a day, and people are listening to Powell? You got to be kidding me. I own no stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs. I do not touch paper. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but I'm saying people have been brainwashed by the Fed, the Treasury. Go to school, get a job, pay your taxes, get a high-paying job, and invest for the long term in a well-diversified portfolio of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs. Is this economy screwed up? So after about 4 years of just pumping money into the system, it's running out of the system right now. It's called a 3 times crash. The first crash is going to be stocks and bonds, and that's the 401k and IRAs for many of the boomers. Number 2 is real estate. Home prices are dropping because interest rates are up. And number 3 is cash. When they print money, cash, the value of cash goes down. And my concern is there might be a run on the banks. People just want to get their cash out, or the banks may freeze your money. So these are very precarious times, and they're not normal, definitely not normal.